Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hôm nay mình sẽ cùng nhau nói về những cái quy tắc của spelling mà những educators tin rằng là chúng ta có 6 cái nguyên tắc quan trọng đối với cái chính tả. We read together. We'll learn, study together about this topic. Six spelling principles. Many educators believe that there are six important principles of spelling. Principle one: spelling is learned as we use it. Teachers have an essential role in increasing students' interest in words and influencing their attitudes toward spelling. Students need to feel that they are able to succeed in learning to spell. How to translate this into classroom practice? Provide frequent opportunities to write for a range of purposes in audiences provide a print rich environment that includes displays of letters, words, and word patterns on word walls linked to word walls below. Encourage students' attempts to spell words. Let them approximate, especially when they are trying to use new words. Point out the parts that they have spelled correctly. Use the parts they have misspelled as a focus for teaching spelling. Ensure students read link to proofreading below their writing to identify possible spelling errors. Select words from their have a go pad linked to this below to put into their spelling journal. A link to this below. Respond to the messages in children's in writing by writing back to them, making use of words that are misspelled in order to model the correct spelling. Principle 2: learning to spell is part of the development process of learning to write. When teachers understand spelling development, they can match teaching strategies to develop developmental needs. Records can be kept showing the developmental indicators, strategies, and skills that children are using by monitoring students' writing. In this way, teachers can decide when and when and how it is appropriate to intervene. Teachers are able to determine what the students already know about spelling, and they can build on that knowledge. Principle 3: errors can be viewed as diagnostic, diagnostic and developmental signposts. Error analysis, linked to spelling analysis below, provides information about how far students have developed their understandings of spelling. Analysis of error from students' writing guides understand of the strategies the students are relying upon as they attempt to spell. Principle 4: exploring words and vocabulary are part of learning to spell. Teaching spelling is an ongoing activity. Whenever students come across new words, they should be encouraged to analyze them and to look at their structure and relate this to word meanings. Word study is an important part of the literacy program. Principle 5: independence and self evaluation are essential in spelling development. How to translate this into classroom practice? Teach proofreading skills. Proofreading is different from normal reading. Encourage students to proofread their work. Get students to underline words they think might be not correct, even when they don't know how to correct the words. Knowing when a word looks wrong is the first step towards getting it right. Encourage students to evaluate their own progress, identifying goals achieved in areas that need further work. Teach students how to learn words and how to check spelling of words they have attempted. Make students aware of processes for trying to write new words. Principle 6: effective spellers use a number of different strategies interactively in order to spell correctly. Students need to be implicitly taught a range of strategies in order to internalize them and use them interactively to produce correct spelling. There are three major spelling strategies: visual, sound, symbol, morphemic. The activities described below are color coded depending on which type of strategy is involved. One other strategies are analogy strategies, the ability to consider words they know when faced with writing new words. Tree and duck can spell uh, truck, tree, and tree duck. Tree duck can spell truck. And reference strategic. Spellers, readers, writers know the strategies and can describe them as well as we use them. Spelling is a thinking activity, not rote learning activity. Teaching Kids to Spell by Richard Gentry and John and Jean Wallace Gillett Hanneman 1993 has a chapter on developing each of the three main stages of spelling developments. So you can read more about this one. Okay. We continue with one more article. Spelling introduction. Many people think spelling consists of memorizing all the words in a dictionary and that spelling comes naturally to some and not to others. These are misconceptions. Good spellers aren't born, they are taught. Nearly 90% of English words can be spelled if a student knows basic patterns, principles, and rules of spelling. If a child can spell the word, he or she can usually read the word. In fact, there is a strong relationship between spelling and word reading because many of the same abilities, phonemic awareness, knowledge of letter patterns, and understanding of morphology and word meanings, underlie both reading and spelling. Good spellers make for better readers and writers. Spelling and reading. Dr. Lucia Moat, an expert in literacy instruction, says that spelling is a visible record of a child's language processing and gives us a window into what a child understands about word structure and speech sounds and how we use letters to represent those sounds. Looking at a child's spelling is a wonderful diagnostic tool. Putting spelling in perspective, there are about 400,000 words in a dictionary. In about 50% of the words, sound and letter associations map simply and perfectly. These words don't have to be memorized. Another 37% are easily learned through instruction of slightly more complex letter sound correspondences. Only 13% of English language words are truly exceptional in that they must be memorized by sight. Spelling instructions should include alphabetic principle, knowledge of which individual letters match to sounds in a left to right sequence. In the word cup, each sound is represented by a single letter, cup. Pattern information, which groups of letters function as a pattern to represent sounds. Examples patterns would include CVC, consonant vowel consonant pattern to form short vowels. That is like the word cat, or CVCE, CVVC patterns to form long vowels like the word same or meat. Spelling variations based on word origins. That is, CH sounds like J in Anglo-Saxon, the word like check, HH in French, words like niche, and K sound in Greek words like chaos, meaning morphological, and morphemic information, which groups of letters represent meaning. The prefix re, as redo means to do again. Instruction should include Greek combining forms and Latin roots. You can read with this article adapted from BRD.RMA in Vernizzi S. Templeton F. Johnston 1996. Words Their Way, Word Study for Phonics, vocabulary and spelling instruction. Spelling patterns. The Johnson School Chevrolet VA has its own homegrown reading program called RIESE Reading Initiative for Students Excellence. So you can take it a look. Right, we have one more article about the spelling. We're talking about spelling. Spelling rules. Anyone who has ever had to memorize a tough to spell English word like fruscia, right, or fruscia or fruscia, has noticed that the spelling of some words is widely different from the way we pronounce them. To make matters worse, some words are spelled differently in American English and British English. If it makes you feel any better, the eccentricities of English spelling, eccentricity, weren't invented just to make life difficult for writers. Here's a tip: want to make sure writing something. Around Shakespeare's time, when spelling was first becoming standardized, the spelling of most English words was mostly phonetic, or at least more phonetic than it is today. For example, English speakers did not once pronounce the K at the beginning. Words like knife did once pronounce, means that they used to pronounce like knife and knee. But even though no one has pronounced the word knee, knee as a knee in centuries, we still hang on to the old spelling. Unfortunately, there are a few rules of thumb that can help when you are faced with a word you are not sure to spell. I before E except after C. The rule goes this like I before E except after C unless it sounds like A in as in neighbor or way, neighbor way. There are many exceptions to this rule. Maybe it's better to think of it as a guideline, but it can help point with words like the ones below. I before E. Would you like a piece of cake? Jerry will believe anything. They are planting a new grass on the football field. Except after C. Daniel received an A on his spelling test. Jeremy spotted a spider on the ceiling. I never expected such deceit from you. Unless it sounds like A. Our neighbors live in a beige house. How much does the kitten weigh? Here's a tip. It's a good idea to memorize these common exceptions to the rule. Sees either weird, height, foreign, leisure, that's okay. Conscience, counterfeit, forfeit, neither, science, species, sufficient, like IE go together, and before that, it sometimes has uh, some more consonant. Adding suffixes to words that end in y. When you add a suffix that starts with e, such as ed, er, or est, to a word that ends with y, the y usually changes to an I. Cry, cried, crier. Try, dryer. Lay, laid. Note that the irregular spelling, no e, laid. Irregular spelling. Baby, babies. Family, families. Ugly, ugliest. This is the dirtiest old house I've ever seen. The best bakers make the flakiest pie crusts. The soup needs the tiniest pinch of salt, and then it is perfect. See what dries out your skin. The y doesn't change for the suffix ing. The baby has been crying for almost an hour. The minute we brought in the new puppy, the mother began laying down sheets of a newspaper. We should spend some time tidying before the guests arrive. If the word in question has two consonants before y, change the y to I before adding the suffixes ly. Sloppy, sloppily, happy, happily, scary, scarily. Funnily enough, I said the same thing just yesterday. Of course, there are always exceptions. Funny, he said dryly. The silent e. Typically, an an e after a consonant at the end of a word is silent, but it does affect the way you pronounce the vowel that comes before the consonant. The e makes the vowel sound of the word or syllable long, like the e sound in kite, and the I sound in kite, instead of short, like I sound in kitten. It's important to get the silent E right because its presence or absence can change the meaning of a word. For example, the monkey bit me. Keep your fingers out of the cage. The monkey's bite. By adding a to the end of bit, the word is changed from past to present tense. Example: don't cut yourself on the sharp knives. The kitten is really cute. In this case, the silent e creates a completely different word. When adding a suffix like ed, er, or est, the silent e is usually dropped from the end of the root word. Example: the word bared his teeth at mail carrier. The baby's eyes were the bluest I'd ever seen. 4. Double consonants. Watch out for double consonants. It can be difficult to hear them when a word is said aloud, especially if the word has only one syllable. Double consonants are frequently found in words that have suffixes added to them. For example, I dropped the heavy bags to the floor someone called for you earlier. Uh, some words can be pronounced as either one or two syllables, but the spelling remains the same. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. In this sentence, which is a fixed expression, blessed is pronounced as two syllables. Blessed. Example: the father blessed his son before the wedding. In this sentence, blessed is pronounced as one syllable, blessed. Be particularly careful with words where double consonant can change the pronunciation and the meaning of the word. Katik, katas, kati, katai. Katai are native to desert. Would you like ice cream for dessert? Different with one S, that is desert, Sahara Desert. But dessert, it means that the food that you eat. Plural suffixes. The last one. When you add s, when you do add es to make a plural, it is not quite as arbitrary. As it might seem. The rule is if a word ends in s, sh, ch, x, or z, you add es. I only take one bus. You have to take two buses. I only get one wish. You get two wishes. I have splotch on my shirt. You have two splotches. I am carrying one box. You are carrying two boxes. Would you like a spritz of perfume? Two spritzes, please. For all other endings, add s. Correct. I have one cat. You have two cats. I have one cup. You have two cups. I have one shoe. You have two shoes. Where's my other shoe? I have one ski. You have two skis. How am I supposed to ski? I have one toque. You have two toques. Toques. Be careful of words that don't change when they are pluralized, like fish, sheep, moose. If you are unsure, check the dictionary. Be sure to also check out this list of common confused words to help you choose the right spelling of words with similar meanings or pronunciations. Thank you for going with me to this more minutes of our sharing. So I hope that you can get some useful information about what we have just read from three articles like this. So thank you a lot and see you in the next video. I hope that your English will grow soon. Okay, thank you a lot. Bye bye.